Hi guys, welcome back to New Dram Drinker. It's another week and another whiskey review, and this time we've got it's a whiskey with a really nice kind of sentiment and story added to it. What do you think about it? What's wrong? Why aren't you moving?
I'm just keeping my head very still, and I'm not going to make any faces, pull any faces or anything this week.
Why?
Because every time I do, you seem to find the most unflattering picture of me and you use it as the thumbnail.
That's what people want. They want to see like you go, or if that's an interesting thumbnail. That's how you get told to do your thumbnails. It's meant to be a captivating image.
But they're never of you. They're always me.
Well, 1 out of 10 maybe.
And I laugh and I do pull faces.
As you.
You're not, are you?
No, I'm not.
I did quite well there. I lasted about 20 seconds, didn't I?
You can go back to it if you want. I'll take over.
So just leave?
Yeah, just...
And then you would be the one with the uncompromising positions?
I'll no doubt bring something into block your face at some point anyway. So. Well, I was told off. Someone told me off in the comments in one of the videos.
Did they?
They said that I should bring them in to cover my face.
Oh.
So maybe I'll have to start bringing them in at different times. So anyway, let's get on to the whiskey review. That's why you guys are all here. So going back to what I was saying with regards to the kind sentiment that this one comes with.
Yeah.
It kind of came through the post, and I knew it was coming because the friend had said he was sending it, but he's someone who we've never met in person.
Yeah.
He's one of our members, and he sent it as a thank you for us helping him on his journey. I don't mean just us, he's a CEO as well, so it's everybody who
it's our little community we've
Yeah.
created. People
but if you're
especially in lockdown.
that doesn't mean you're getting a sample because he sent it to us. So maybe at some point we'll share some over here. But it's just nice when you know that what you're talking about, what you're doing is helping people. It's not just our journey that this channel is influencing. It's
and we've said right from the beginning, when we first started, we looked for like channels to support newbie whiskey drinkers and help us on that journey, and we didn't find anything, which is hence why we started this. And it is a big scary world. There's a lot of whiskey out there, a lot of distilleries, a lot of different views and stuff. So
and there's a lot of people
really
out
nice.
there with a hell of a lot more knowledge, and it can sometimes feel a little bit
overwhelming,
daunting because you just genuinely don't. I still do it now. We go to these like meetups with whiskey folk, and I still worry that am I going to be able to keep up with the conversation? Am I going to be able to have the knowledge that's needed to be relevant in that kind of room? And I still do it now, and sometimes I haven't. I haven't got that knowledge. Just like I like whiskey. That's as far as I'll get. Sometimes it's just like, look, I don't know what information about distilleries, I don't know this, I don't know that, I don't know what other companies the brands own. I just know
we just whiskey. Enjoy the whiskey, and what you get is what you get.
I
spun round.
That's the
that'll be the face.
And there you go. Job done.
Bar stools.
Anyway, we've been going for 3 minutes. We haven't even talked what the whiskey is. So let's get on to the whiskey, shall we? I'm going to show you. Well, you've already seen it because it's come up, so you know as usual. But I will show you the bottle, and we'll start with the bottle and the tube, of course.
Square tube as well.
It's a lovely. I love the colours. I love the muted or the like the matte blues. It's such a gorgeous colour scheme with the gold as well.
And the square. I like that it's a square tube.
It's just
because it's not a box and it's not a tube. It's
some
a
nice
tube.
info on the back of the box. I'm going to try and read it out, but you know what my eyesight is like these days. Found on County Antrim's rugged coastline, the village of Bushmills is home to Ireland's oldest whisky distillery. Official records stretch back to 1608 when the area was granted its licence to distill. Over 400 years later, whisky is still being made in Bushmills thanks to the experience and craft passed from generation to generation.
So even that is a lovely story.
So is there a 400-year-old whiskey somewhere?
Maybe.
Imagine that. So anyway, we'll move on to the bottle. Bottle matches the tube in its colour scheme, but the thing about this is it's even been personalised.
It's the Distillery Reserve, so I think you can only buy it from the distillery.
New Dram Drinker, enjoy with friends, which is what we will do, to be honest. We're not going to drink all this quickly. We're going to hold on. I'm a bit of a sucker for a gift, so yeah,
it's one of those. We're never going to throw that bottle away, are we?
No,
like that's a personalised label. It's so lovely.
Such a kind gesture.
Yeah.
So yeah, lovely bottle. I do like it. It's again, it's its own shape. It holds its place on the bar. Fits in well.
Yeah.
And
it's got 1608 on the bottom, which now I know is when the distillery was founded, which I didn't know before.
Side, if you can see that. So yeah, really nice, nice bottle. So we need to be getting on to the liquid that's actually inside of it. So let's move on.
Really dark amber.
Really dark amber. Does it say if it's coloured on the tube? Let me have a look while Nicola
We really
knows,
should be
I
prepared.
don't like looking into it too much, to be honest, online, because I think if it's going to be coloured or non-chill filtered or not coloured, it should be on the tube.
Yeah.
And it doesn't say. I think all the information that you should want to know should be on the tube, or the bottle at least. Doesn't say anything about colouring or non-chill filtration.
Will that be a pop-up that you slide in to cover my face?
It doesn't say it anyway from what I can
I nearly
see.
sipped it then.
Doesn't mention it. So it's quite dark, but then it is 12-year-old, so maybe
I would just say it was a really dark amber colour, whether it's coloured or not.
I'll pop up whether it's whether I've found out more information on it, but it's a lovely colour, lovely rich.
Do you know what I'm going to say? I'm nosing this. I did have a little cheeky nose of it about 10 minutes ago. Actually, I think you can get the dried fruit, and there is an oak. There's a little wood. Oh no, I'm going to say quite a nice wood cask note.
It's very nice,
but it definitely has sweetened sitting in the glass.
It has.
It's almost like the dried fruits, and there's some sugar. The sherry notes, I think, are coming out more now.
It's open there, big time, to be honest, on the nose. Yeah, very nice.
Very pleasant,
very
like
pleasant
quite
nose.
soft, quite subtle, not overwhelming.
Would you say it's what you would expect from an Irish nose?
See, I don't know. Would you know it was an Irish if you didn't know what it was in a blind tasting?
This is one of
See,
them
I don't think
things
I
again.
would. I don't think I would know.
I would say it's because I know it's Irish. I'm going to say I'm getting those notes, but it's probably just because I know it is. So whether I could actually
I'm going to say, when I first started drinking whiskey, I drank a lot of Irish because they are softer, they are quite subtle. I'm going to say, if you didn't drink whiskey, or if somebody came around that wasn't very familiar with whiskey, I would happily give them this because it noses nice. It's not one of those noses, you know, sometimes, maybe because it's 40%?
40%, yeah.
You know, like sometimes you'll have obviously I'm better at it now, but you'll have a whiskey and you go, whoa, like that's huge, or the spirit is huge. Kind of is a bit intimidating. This isn't like that at all. It's really soft and subtle.
I would say that I love a higher ABV, but I would say that the notes that are in this would probably struggle to come through if it was a higher ABV. I think that ABV might hide them a little bit.
I think it all just works well. It's soft, it's subtle, it's quite sweet. I think for somebody that didn't drink a lot of whiskey, I think this would be a really pleasant experience, nosing it. Shall we drink it?
I think Neil, who bought it us, he said that it was one of the whiskies that first got him into drinking whiskey. It was one of his starts, like I think, where ours was Glenmorangie. I think this was his version of that. So it's exactly what you're saying, that is. It was what started his journey off. So.
We've had a few, the black, and I think there's a smoky one. Like I remember them just being really pleasant, especially for me when I was really like struggling, I suppose, with Scotch and things like that.
They were definitely a part of our start of our journey. 100%. They're just not. I would never have thought to say they were. I always go to Glenmorangie and things like that. I never think of Bushmills, but they were definitely. I remember having them on the bar.
It was me. I think we bought a lot of Irish because it was easier for me to drink. Talking of drinking.
Yeah, let's get on to it. Right, palate time.
That's really soft.
Do you think?
Yeah, I do.
I'm getting a different. This is one of these ones where you're going to get different notes on.
There is a little tang there.
For me, the palate is completely different from the nose. I'm not.
I think there's similarities.
I could have said that you'd maybe switch the glasses on me here. Yeah, I'm getting more of a spicier note. It's a bit more, whereas the nose was smooth and welcoming, I'd say the palate is a little bit more challenging. It's a little bit more like, what am I going to say? It's it's a bit more. It's a bit harder on the palate than it is on the nose.
Yeah, there is a softness there though. It's not. There's no spirit burn. It's not full of flavour. I'm going to say I am getting the spiciness, but it's more towards the end. I don't get it right at the beginning. I get the wood. There's that oak.
Yeah, I get that. I also get that. You know when people say whiskey tastes like whiskey.
Yes.
I would say that someone would say it tastes like whiskey. It's got that. I don't think the sherry note, even though it's there, a little bit.
Is it hard to pull the flavours out?
It's harder to pull the flavour out on the palate.
Yeah.
But I would say that someone would say it tastes like whiskey.
Yeah.
Which isn't a bad thing, obviously. No. But there's just not as many other notes going on that mask it.
I think the flavours are very subtle. I think they are there. I think I'm still getting the dried fruit. There is a sherry. I think the wood as well. I'm almost getting like a smoky, like cigar.
Yeah, there is.
Like a cigar taste.
There is. I'm getting maybe a touch of like that dark chocolate.
Oh,
like
are you? Oh.
I mean, like the cocoa. Like the, you know, when Nicola likes a really heavy dark chocolate, the high cocoa count. I'm not a massive fan, to be honest, but I can get that, maybe a touch on the end.
I can see why. I'm thinking cigar leaves or cigar smoke.
Yeah.
And the wood, there is that's really prevalent to me. The dried fruit is there, but I'm going to say it's one of those whiskies. Maybe this is why the spices are standing out for you. Like really early on, I was told that women have really good taste buds. I think all the flavours are there. They're just very subtle.
I just think that spicy note is quite...
See, I'm not getting that massive. I'm going to say that is almost the finish for me.
Maybe the spices is more like like the smoky note, like you're saying. Maybe it's like a burnt note. I
wouldn't go so far as to say burnt. It's like cigar leaves.
There's something going on.
Or you know, like when you smell a cigar.
Yeah.
Like my dad used to smoke cigars when we were little, so I remember what they smell like a fresh one. It's the leaves. I'm just thinking you smell them, don't you? And add that to the wood.
Yeah.
It's not smoky. It's not peated or anything like that.
No, it's not that.
Smoky like that.
There is a
bitter note.
I'm trying to figure out whether it's spicy or like rich.
I think there is a spicy tingle and it kind of just dances across your tongue, really fleeting. It's not a spicy whiskey. That's for me, it's on the finish. Is that what you're getting first?
I get it first. Oh. Yeah, I get it first. It's the overriding note that I would say I'm going from the nose, which is all those nice smooth caramels and vanillas and like the sherry and all that kind of.
I didn't get as many.
I drink it, and that note seems to be masking.
Yes.
Maybe it's because I'm expecting to get the notes off the nose on the palate, and I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm getting that kind of sharp.
I think this is heavily
spicy
cask. It's more cask influence. There's more of the oak and there is that lovely little. It's a very woody whiskey, I would say.
I'd say it's another one of those ones that's what we've said before, the journey whiskies, where you've got the nose is one thing, palate's a different thing, finish is similar to the
I would happily offer this to somebody who maybe said they were new to whiskey or weren't really into whiskey, you know, or it's not overpowering, it's not an intimidating whiskey.
I would say, and I don't say this very often, but I don't think it belongs at any higher ABV than it is either, because I think that
would that make it harsher, do you think?
It would get even harsher, I think, for what it's got.
Yeah.
It maybe 43
it can cope,
but 40 it's fine. It doesn't need to be any higher. I don't think there's no notes in there that are screaming to be kind of at a higher ABV for me. It's fine where it is. Yeah. So highlights?
That it was a gift and that we have a personalised label, definitely. Yeah.
That was nice.
For me, I think it's not a complex, difficult whiskey to drink.
No. And that's not why he sent it. He sent it because it was one that was like special to him because it was at the start of his journey. So I
think if I just wanted a whiskey like just to sit and have a whiskey, I think I'd pick this. I don't have to overthink it.
No.
It's not hard to drink. It's not going to cause me any grief.
Yeah. It's one that is easily shareable, which is exactly what he's
think
done
so.
now. Neil sent it up to us because he wanted to share this point of where he was on
I
his
still
journey.
don't know if I didn't know what it was, if I'd pick out it was Irish. I feel like I've missed.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I've almost forgotten the Irish. I don't think we've got
we
any Irish,
we
have we, on the bar at the
We had a
moment?
real kind of moment where we had a lot of
we
Irish.
did.
Yeah, like the green spot, the
red
breast, Bushmills
Yellow
we had
spot
before,
we had as well.
Yellow
Yeah,
spot. We
we
wanted
did.
to explore more
We
of those.
did.
And for some reason, we just kind of took a left turn and kind of
I think we went
forgot.
more Indian stuff, didn't we, as well,
it's
independent
like-
bottlers.
It's
So
weird, isn't it? It's weird
it's
how
made
these
me
things happen.
almost. It's taken me back a couple of years,
which is
almost.
good.
Yeah, it's
It's
nice.
regressed us in our journey back to where we were.
I think it's just reminded us that this is a whole geographical area, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Very
Maybe
nice.
we need to plan a trip to Ireland.
Can't plan a trip down the road at the moment, let alone.
We haven't even got to Scotland again this year.
Or
Long
Edinburgh.
story.
I give up on trying to I really do.
Yeah.
It's bad enough just trying to get to the pub. But yeah,
Very pleasant.
So highlights
Yeah.
is that it was a gift, obviously.
I think it's a very easy whiskey to
Easy
drink.
whiskey
It's
to
nice.
drink.
Yeah. Do you want to add
Price is
anything?
good, 45 quid as well.
But you can only get it from the distillery, I think. So that makes it
Okay.
trickier.
Yeah.
I think.
You can have it delivered like he did.
true.
So,
Yeah.
for me, I love the colour scheme of the bottle.
Yeah.
I love the blue. You don't see that kind of colour. I don't think I've got anything. The Macmillan's close, maybe the Jura, but overall,
Yeah. Well, the
it's
square,
quite a nice
the square box and
colour
the square
scheme.
bottle is different anyway. Isn't
bottle, classic Bushmills.
Yeah.
Price, gift.
it? Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Tick,
I
tick,
mean,
tick, tick, tick.
tick. And the fact that I would say it's. I don't like using the everyday sipper because does anyone sip every day? But it's one that I would reach for if I'm
Yes.
watching a film.
I think it's an easy one.
And I just want to sit
Lovely.
there and just drink away and not really have
Very
to
pleasant.
think about it too much. It's just a nice, pleasant drink.
Yeah, 100%.
So, yeah, awesome.
Yeah. Can I just say, please be kind to me in the thumbnails. Live on camera, please.
Do you think I should be kind to her or go with that one slip? So you've just done another face. I can't help, but the YouTube algorithm will pick these
You can
thumbnails.
choose which picture you use.
I'll try and be kind. You'll know when you see the thumbnail whether I actually went kind or not. You think I will?
I don't know.
Anyway, cheers guys. Thank you so much to Neil for sending us this. It was a lovely gift.
Yeah.
We appreciate it 100%, and we will drink it over the next few months and share it with friends like you've said on the label. So thank you for watching, and we will see you again next week.